So today I'm sitting down with Jeracraft. This guy is a legend in the Minecraft building community on YouTube. And this is not edited to be flashy. This is just highly valuable lessons from him. So please enjoy.
So yeah, I'm just a Minecraft YouTuber, I guess. I make you know, massive builds in Minecraft, whatever it is that's Minecraft related. I mean, I used to do like vlogs and other content while I was trying to find my footing, but as I progressed, I obviously found that Minecraft was huge, and I just found success from that pretty much. When I first started, it was like I think there was about two or three YouTubers that stood out, and they're not even making videos anymore. And they had about 50,000 subscribers, which were like Minecraft building focused. And when I reached like 50,000 subscribers, I was like, this is it. This is like the limit. There's no way my channel's going to grow past 50,000. That was my mindset. But then I don't know if you guys might know Green.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
So he came out of nowhere and he skyrocketed to like 1 million subscribers with build videos. And that kind of inspired me and made me realize that there was far more potential. So from that, I just kept pushing and pushing. And eventually I reached the ultimate goal, which was 1 million.
How have you dealt with the, inherent difficulty that comes with very infrequent uploads? Because I was just briefly looking through your catalog and it's like maybe a dozen videos in the past year or two. And I imagine that's pretty difficult to build a full-time job around, right?
I mean, it's a bit difficult to explain. I think it's a combination of factors, really. Like how much time I spend editing, how big the projects are, the facts that one thing I don't actually mention a lot is that one of my ultimate goals was reaching 1 million subscribers. And once I hit that goal, I kind of took a step back. I have never told anyone this, but I took a step back because I felt like I reached, that ultimate peak again, despite, other people reaching higher goals, etc. But like I set my eyes on this goal of 1 million. And when I finally reached it, I took a step back. Now, obviously, I do regret it because I've realized now in recent years like how much more potential there is. But yeah, it's not easy because obviously if I post one video and it takes me 3 months to make, if that video doesn't do well, then I'm not going to get paid enough.
Right.
So it's always a challenge. But I'm trying to find a way to like make the uploads more frequent recently. But again, it's not easy. I have like this problem where it's like I focus a lot on perfection. So I might like do a recording and I might record the same paragraph like 100 times. It's so bad.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like one of my weaknesses that I'm trying to improve on.
Yeah. Oh, I've
But
been
it's
there for
like
sure. Yeah.
as of recently, I've decided to take the path of most resistance. So doing this call with you is something I would have never done. I have rejected so many people for collaborations, for podcasts, for chats, sponsorships, everything. I've just declined everything. But after going through like all the hardship that I went through this year, and now here I am with a broken elbow, I'm still pushing. And I think it's kind of made me grow in a sense.
Would you say that the past year has been one of the most difficult ones in a long time for
the
you?
past the past 3 years has been a living freaking nightmare. It's been a nightmare. It's almost like a dream. I have gone through so many things. I can't even, if I were to go through all my trials and tribulations right now, I think I'll bore you to death. Like I don't want to get too much into the details, but it was just like one thing after another. But I mean, what I realized was that I was so comfortable. I was getting a good pay. I had over 1 million subscribers. I was like kind of laid back in a sense. And when all these problems started to arise, I realized that my mental state wasn't really prepared. So I was a huge wake up call for me more than anything.
Right. What was like the inciting incident of all of that? What was like the thing that started that chain of
Oh
dominoes?
man. So the chain of dominoes started with the PC. So I needed a new PC. It was failing on me. It was quite old. It was like 10 years old. And obviously I thought it would be a good investment to buy a new computer and, for the channel. So I ordered a new computer. The computer arrived broken. We didn't know what was wrong with it. Turns out the graphics card was broken. So I ordered a new graphics card, got scammed on that graphics card,
Oh
ordered
man.
another one, broke in the mail. And this was all during the inflation, let's say, like when, when the graphics cards were like
Oh
super
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it literally took a huge chunk out of my savings. And I spent, I know it sounds crazy, but I spent a literal year trying to fix the PC. We changed graphics cards, motherboard, RAM, battery. I literally built 2 PCs pretty much because everything was broken. And this was actually prior to the hacking where my channel got hacked. And I didn't even take it seriously because, like I said, I was super comfortable. And when the hacking came through, I contacted YouTube. I'm like, look what's going on. I have like Bitcoin live streams on my channel.
Right.
And I was like, again, I didn't take it seriously until I started to investigate. And I realized that they had not just got into my YouTube, they got into my Facebook page and they were using my PayPal account to run Bitcoin ads. So I lost a ton of money as well. It took me ages to get back all of my accounts because you know how these social media giants work. It's so difficult to get into contact with anyone.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thankfully, YouTube is much easier for now. I don't know how long that's going to last. I had 4 leaks in my house. So one leak was from my air conditioning. As soon as I fixed my computer, I had water dripping down from my air conditioning. I had to,
Jeez.
disconnect everything. There was water everywhere. Then the boiler broke. Then there was a leak upstairs from one of my neighbors whose boiler broke as well. And I had a literal waterfall coming in from my bathroom.
God.
Then the salt water pipe broke at the entrance of my house, and I had the entire corridor flooded with salt water. And then there was a leak in my garage, which damaged my car. So it was
Jeez,
like
man.
so I was just like battling all these bad luck, screw it. I'm just going to keep pushing and keep going. And I'm just going to take it as a challenge.
So what is the like the new version of you then as it pertains to content in your job? Are you feeling like a lot more
So
fired up?
to give you a comparison before my transformation, let's say I was all day at home, sitting down all day, playing video games while making videos in between. That was my entire life. And those 4 years, I think, contributed to a lot of things like social anxiety. I would go outside, I would go to the lift, and I would beg that no one would be in the lift so I wouldn't have to start a conversation with them.
Right.
Because, we're a small community. We have like 30,000 people living in Gibraltar. So, like, everyone knows everyone kind of thing. But I was like super introverted. I've gone from like super extroverted to introverted completely. I realized that I was fucking up myself basically. And now last year, I mean, it's crazy what I've managed to achieve. Like I've posted 8 videos, 22 YouTube shorts, which may not seem like a lot, but compared to the previous years, it's a huge improvement. I've done, I've gone on 6 jogs. I've gone to the gym 76 times. I've hiked twice in Spain. I've cycled 154 times for a total distance of 2,000 kilometers. I've done med steps, which is a series of steps around the back of the rock, which is kind of like some dirt trails. It's always like a nice jog. And, a couple of home workouts on top of that. And I've also read a couple of books, which is something I've never done before, while also learning Italian. So
Wow.
from not doing anything to
Yeah.
reaching this has been for me a pretty good start.
So would you say that you're like at the best like version of yourself today that you ever have been?
No, well that's the thing. Like the thing about being the best version of yourself is that you never know. There's no finish line.
Yeah.
This is the best part. You just keep pushing, and there's always something new to accomplish or something, some new goal to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done this end of year sort of evaluation, and now this year I want to beat what I did last year. So I want to read more books. I want to train more. I want to post more videos, post more shorts, whatever it is,
Right.
to try and elevate myself as best as I can.
So something that I'm curious about then, given that you had put 1 million subscribers as like a giant goal for a long time, now that you
Yeah.
kind of feel invigorated again and you're doing all these great things in your life, do you now have a new goal that you're trying to reach?
Well, not exactly. Not exactly. I haven't really set a goal. I just thought the goal really is to just be a better version of myself every single day.
Right.
That's like the only goal you can set. I think I think I was in the wrong mindset, just to set like that as a goal, as just they're just numbers at the end of the day.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's really healthy because a lot of people they get into,
You
anything,
get
but
too focused on that.
yeah, it's like it doesn't actually matter the number. And especially subscribers because it's no
The mo
longer
it,
indicative of like a healthy channel. Like I'm curious coming from my lens of like a ex Minecraft creator, how has
yeah,
your
I've seen your channel like shift.
yeah, right. It's very much so. How would you say your perspective of Minecraft as a medium for content has changed over the years? Because I've noticed that you've made a few videos talking about like Minecraft needs a transformation or like we need something new, we need something fresh. Do you feel like it's kind of getting old a bit?
This is a tough question. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, again, there's like a lot of factors contributing to different. I mean, like, for example, the content's changed so much. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I feel like it's becoming repetitive and everyone's kind of like following the same trends. I think I watched a video recently about the beastification of
Yeah,
Minecraft content.
right.
And I think the whole point of it was like a lot of people have seen Mr. Beast's success and have just gone and followed that same route
Mm-hmm.
rather than being unique in and finding your own success kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's not to say that there's not money to be made, but I think it's better to just be authentic and just be yourself.
Well, and I think that your style of content and by extension, some other big builders like Shuffle 241, they're kind of insulated from this kind of thing because no one, very few people have the tenacity and focus that you guys do to build a 3 month project. And I haven't seen anyone really pop up as like, that's the Jeracraft clone because it's just like your content is so unique and so difficult to pull off.
It's funny because, well, there are some people that do it, but like one of the things I realized while I was growing was that a lot of people were taking my content and following that same path, right? I don't want to say copying because I don't
Yeah.
like I don't mind people like getting inspired by my content. That's great that people would follow a sort of similar style. Um, but like I try to make it really difficult. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I
Sure.
try to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a project so crazy that I don't think anyone's gonna be able to copy this
Right.
kind of thing. But I've been proven wrong. Like people have stepped up, and this is another problem that I think a lot of us YouTubers we're trying to one up ourselves every single time, and I think it's going to get to a point where like you can't one up yourself anymore.
Right.
Don't you think? Like what someone's built the universe in Minecraft, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
how the heck do you top that kind of thing? Like what can you do to top that video?
Well, I guess while we're on the topic of Minecraft though, I was curious about I mean, not so much like what's your opinion of the state of the game because I think that's a really tired, boring question, but I'm just curious if you have thought at all about like the sustainability of your content. Not so much with the, length of the builds where it takes 3 months, but more so like do you feel like the I guess community or the overall opinion of the game is heading in a good
I think
direction?
I think I know where you're going with this. Obviously, yes, I do worry that my career is not like infinite, let's
Right.
say, because I mean, Minecraft. I mean, how old is Minecraft now? What is it going to reach? It's reaching 15 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's been around for a really long time. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, there's going to be newer generations that but there's always going to be new people to play the game. I mean, I'm shocked. I still get people that have just started playing, which is mind blowing. I mean, who knows how long this game is going to last? I feel like it's gone down and it's affected a lot of creators in the Minecraft scene. I mean, you just have to look on Social Blade. Like, there's been some huge dips on
Yeah.
Minecraft channels,
Yeah.
but the game is still. I mean, it's still alive. I don't buy into the idea of the game is dead. I mean, how many times have YouTubers made like Minecraft is dying videos? It's been going on for a really long time.
Right.
But I'm surprised still. I mean, the game cost us what, $12? And
Yeah.
they're still updating it for free.
Right.
So a part of me is like, why are we complaining? Like we've paid $12 for the game. Why are we constantly, you know, I mean, they could just charge us for like every single update, like
Right.
most games do.
Yeah, like an
And they
expansion.
haven't. they haven't done that yet. So
Yeah, well, I would say that Minecraft is the only game that came out prior to like major content creation and simultaneously reached the level of stardom that it did. Like there's nothing else that is that popular on YouTube that is that old. And
yeah,
I think that it's not so much that the game is bad because the game inherently cannot have competitors. Anything that comes out will always be like the Minecraft clone if it's block based. It's just that it's been just like beaten into the ground by content creators, and when you have everyone like building the universe or doing like the next thing, it's inherently going to start to feel stale. And I think people need to remind themselves that just because someone else is doing something extreme on YouTube doesn't mean that you can't log in and still have a fun time, or like your build projects are still going to be awesome no matter how many people are out there like building every biome or capturing every mob or building a museum for every block in the game. You know, it doesn't matter. You can still have fun with it.
YouTube is shifting more to a more like, I think people want more authenticity more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
I think people are getting a bit tired of the sort of, the brand kind of thing. They want, genuine, just down to earth people just to play the game.
Right. Yeah,
But
that's part of why I made such a dramatic change, because I felt like I was limiting myself behind a little avatar, you know, in game, and I wanted to like
yeah,
be on camera. But have you ever felt like that with not like getting on camera, but
when I,
like struggle with the authenticity part of it?
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, look at my videos. I shout in all my videos.
Yeah, right.
This is probably like the chillest I've ever been. And I'm still kind of, hyped and nervous, believe it or not, because I don't do this kind of podcasts. And
Hmm.
so I still have that little bit of anxiety and nerves in me, which is kind of crazy to think. I know people are probably thinking like this guy has 1.7 million subscribers and he's
Yeah,
nervous on this podcast. But it's just, again, I'm taking the path of most resistance so I can improve.
right.
But like, where were we going with this?
Like, do you feel like you ever struggle with being authentic in your own content, and like, would you get closer to a more authentic version of yourself?
I mean, it depends what people really want. Like, I don't know. Like, do they want me to get personal? Like, I'm just making content. I am doing what I like to do
Hmm.
at the end of the day. It just depends. Like, what am I going to talk about? If I'm building, I'm doing a project for 3 months, I'm just really talking about the process. I don't know. I've thought about experimenting. Like, what if I built like the Roman Empire and I talk about the Roman Empire rather than talking about the build process, like a history lesson?
Right.
I've thought about different avenues, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided like if I want to transition yet or what I'm gonna do in that sense.
I could see that working for sure. Like rebuilding um like ancient like the Colosseum or something, and then you talk about the Colosseum because you're like incorporating both
Yeah,
interests.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm expanding in a way. Like one thing people always ask me to do is build Gibraltar,
Oh, really?
but I don't really want to build Gibraltar because, I mean, besides the fact that there are a lot of buildings and a lot of roads and a lot of things that would take me so long because I'm such a perfectionist
Hmm.
that I can't just build a diagonal building because I hate the look of it.
Yeah,
So
right.
I want to make it look as perfect as possible, and that's going to take me forever. So one idea that I think might be possible is to build Gibraltar as it was in like 1704, when it was a lot smaller, when there was ships and the dockyards and the walls and the castle, more of a medieval kind of. Obviously, 1704 isn't medieval, but like I mean, maybe a bit further back in history, and maybe I could talk about the history of Gibraltar, etc., to make it more historical and interesting. But that's just an idea. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just, I mean, again, I have a broken elbow, and I'm trying to record a video today, and obviously, I don't have like full mobility,
Right.
so it's a bit tricky. But I'm still pushing. I mean, this would have been the perfect excuse for me back in 2022. I would have been like, yeah, I have a broken arm. I'm not going to do anything. But again, we talked about the shifts. Here I am. I did a full body workout yesterday with a broken arm. I read my book. I did everything I could.
Yeah. That's great, man. I mean, I bet if you went and talked to your old self and showed yourself like what you were going to be capable of doing today, they would be like, "There's no way. There's no way I could do that." You know?
It's a shame because like most people only operate at like 20% of what they're actually capable of. And I think it's just a combination of things. Like, your mind is constantly going against you, and you have to have a really strong mindset to be able to like push past everything.
How would you say you have been feeling, as a Minecraft content creator, where I assume your primary business is the content, like that's what people watch and that's how you make your money. Have you felt at all, like you mentioned sponsorships, have you felt at all limited in your ability to do this full time, or it's like a bit of a struggle, or has it been like pretty comfortable to do what you do?
In the past couple of years, it's been a real struggle for sure. Like the views have declined massively, I would say. I've definitely taken a massive hit with the hacking, the 1 year break. In a sense, like I thought people were going to be, I don't know if I should say this. Well, in other words, I lost 20,000 subscribers when I got hacked, which
Oh,
was a
really?
huge
Yeah.
shock to my system
Right.
because I really thought like everything was going to be fine. I thought people were just going to jump in and, support the cause kind of thing. But I was really wrong. I think showing weakness is the worst thing you can do on YouTube, honestly.
What
It
do you
was
mean?
a really big mistake for me.
What do you mean by weakness?
Because I wasn't in a good mindset, man. And when I got hacked, I made a video with a black screen breaking down. And I don't think people really like that. People don't really want to see that kind of weakness.
Right.
You know,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
it's like it really affects, I mean, the brand in general. And it's just like people want to look up to someone who's strong, right?
Hmm.
That can push through. They want someone to be inspiring, not just a broken down mess kind of thing.
Right.
That's how I felt about it. Now, I don't know if the 20,000 subscribers that I lost were, contributed due to the fact that I had Bitcoin live streams on my channel.
Could have been.
But
Could have been for sure.
a lot of it was that. I mean, as soon as I saw those live streams come up on the channel, the subscribers started dropping. And I was like, what's going on? But obviously, I think that's when I first realized because I checked my statistics and I saw these random videos and I just see the subscribers going down and all this. And I was like, okay, something's going on. I think the showing weakness video definitely affected the channel for sure. I think it was a really big mistake in my part.
But you decided to keep it up, right?
No, I took it down actually. I just made a new one.
Oh, the new. Okay, that's what I thought you were referring to. The one where you got the glasses on.
No, there was another one where I posted in desperation.
Oh, okay.
It was not a good look.
I see.
I was breaking down in that video. I deleted it. So I hope no one has a copy, but it's something I definitely do not want to look back on.
Right.
I was in such a bad mind state in that during that period that yeah.
Well, I think that your position was understandable. When you are at one of your lowest points, it's often comforting to like just reach out and be like, "Hey, can anyone like help me out?" But I know personally, like I've often kind of alluded to the fact that I'm discontent with my style of content or like the amount of money that I'm making on YouTube. Like I'm not able to do it full time yet. And a lot of people, not a lot, but some people are like, I don't really care about that, dude. I just want to hear the content. I don't care about your struggles, and nor should they care, honestly. Like it's not, it's
Exactly.
it's not like I need
Exactly.
to share this. Like they don't care about that.
Exactly. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Like we don't have to we don't need people to care about it. We're just here to entertain in a way,
Hmm.
right?
Or provide
People just want to
value.
see the content, provide value. Like I don't think it's really necessarily that important for people to have to follow you religiously and care about your life and your personality. And I mean, that's how I feel about it anyway. But then again, I've never really been that personal when it
Right.
comes to my channel. I'm just making content. So it might be a bit of a shock when I posted this random video of me breaking down, like, what this is not the Jeracraft I know kind of thing, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, because like lots of YouTubers that are maybe in like the more vlogging space where they're like a day in my life, like it's very personal, that might not be as
Exactly. That
shocking.
that might be different,
Yeah.
right? Because people are already consuming that style of content. So whatever it is they post that's about their personal life is going to be fine because that's what people are there for.
Hmm.
But people are on my channel to see builds, to know stuff about Minecraft, So doing that random shift sort of thing, asking desperately for help, was not a very good look.
Right.
If
And
I
what
was a vlog channel, yeah, maybe.
and so in that regard, would you say that you feel like your content is very representative of who you are as a person and you don't feel like you need to get into that more personal side of yourself?
I don't think I need to get into my personal
Hmm.
side. I mean, I'm really just here to do a job that I like.
Right.
That was pretty much the sole goal. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but like obviously you don't, but like I've always been very business minded, right? So when I was in middle school, like at 7 years old, I was already selling football stickers and bags of sweets in the playground.
Right.
So I got told off by the teachers, by the way. They were like, no, you can't do this. And I was kind of disappointed in that sense. But I don't want to say school is bad, but I just had like a different mindset. I was more focused on like business side of things. I mean, if you're like going to be a lawyer or a doctor, of course, school isn't going to be really important. But when it comes to me personally, I just wanted to focus on the business side of things.
Right.
And I think at 16, I already had like a successful eBay business with 5-star ratings. And I was making about £400-500 a month, which was crazy for me at 16.
Right. Yeah.
Like I used to get like what, like £20 a month from my parents or something like that. And on top of that, I was making like £400-500 a month at 16 was, I think, a pretty good accomplishment.
Hmm.
And then, of course, YouTube came along. And originally, like my sole goal wasn't to make money. It was more to find freedom more than anything.
Hmm.
Because just the thought of having to be in an office 9 to 5 was absolutely soul crushing. And I've done it. I've done multiple jobs. I used to work in the courts. I used to work in the pension department, and it was just so boring, man. The rules, having to dress formally,
Yeah.
um, just sitting at a computer 9 to 5 doing something you don't like. It just again, it crushes your soul, man. I'm basically when I found YouTube, I met up with this. I didn't meet up with him. I spoke to him online. I think his name was Jamsy Boy Minecraft. He's
Oh
quit as
yeah.
well. He has.
Yeah, I know him.
You remember Jamsy Boy Minecraft?
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy.
No, I've been on YouTube for
Yeah,
a long
well,
time.
yeah, an OG.
Yeah.
I had like 1,000 subscribers, and I was getting inspired by Jamsy Boy and Madness, and I didn't quite get it because this was very early days of YouTube, and Jamsy Boy Minecraft had like 1,000 videos posted, and I had this unique opportunity to finally speak to him, and I asked him, I'm like, dude, why on earth are you doing this? Like, why have you spent so much time making videos? Like, you got 1,000 videos on your plate already. And he was like, well, it's my job. I get paid like, between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds a month. And I was like,
Yeah.
no
Right.
freaking way. You're
Yeah.
joking.
Right.
Because it was around about that time that no one really knew that you could make money online like this,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So very early days of YouTube. And that kind of like blew my mind. I was like, I'm a really good builder. I can really focus on this, and I might be able to find my freedom through Minecraft, which is crazy. I I remember making my first 50p. Dad, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I've made 50 pence. I was like, I'm gonna this is gonna be my day-to-day job. I'm telling you. And
Right.
obviously, despite my parents being as supportive as they are, they were concerned. I mean, how is this kid going to make a living from playing Minecraft, making 50p a month? But
Yeah.
man, I was just so convinced. I was so convinced. And I saw a massive opportunity, and I just gave it my all, my absolute all.
Hmm.
That's not to say it was difficult. Like I quit loads of times during that time. I think I had a 3 month quitting process. I quit as well for 6 months as well, all while growing to 50,000 subscribers. I thought this is never going to happen. But that's your mind, telling you can't do it. Not to mention that loads of people in my school, in my work, they were all telling me I was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I get that for sure with like comments, because most of my comments are pretty positive, but sometimes you like I'm sure you read your comments sometimes, and it's like
Oh,
you
yeah,
need
I get
to
negative
you need
comments.
to stop doing this right now, and it's like, damn, man, some people are so mean, you know?
Yeah, it's just part of playing the game, man. Like
Yeah.
the amount of people that told me that I was crazy, that I wasn't going to make it anywhere, that I was wasting my time, that and as soon as I reached that massive goal, it's now the opposite way around. Like the same people come up to me now and ask me how I did it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like people would tell Mr. Beast that he's crazy, and then once he actually achieved it all, then he's the genius. But up
exactly.
until the success happens, you're just crazy.
You're just crazy. Ignore what everyone else is saying and just keep pushing. Just do you.
Right.
Just do what you think is best. Look, when I saw your channel, I saw huge potential. I like this is something new. This is like I don't know how to. I don't know. I'm very good at kind of predicting where things are going in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a really good feeling about you, and I really don't think you should quit or just keep going. And I think you'll find success eventually. Like I think I don't want to like psychoanalyze you or
No,
anything.
please, please.
Yeah. But like I feel like you underestimate yourself a bit.
Uh-huh.
Do you think am I right or am I wrong?
Well, in what sense? Like, go deeper.
I feel like maybe you haven't found your footing yet. You're still trying to like work out
That's definitely
what
true. That's true.
like you're trying to figure out what works best. But man, I tell you, like with everything in life requires a tremendous amount of hard work. I learned that from YouTube. I've learned that from going to the gym. I mean, I've been training an entire year, breaking my ass off every single day. I've trained almost every single day. And yeah, I've seen results, but I'm not like a giant. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. Obviously, there's people in the gym that are huge, but then again, you can suspect what they're probably taking,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But I'm obviously trying to do this naturally, and it takes a tremendous amount of hard work. Everything in life is difficult, and
Sure.
nowadays, it's like everyone's looking for the easy routes and finding that quick success.
Mm-hmm.
And quick success doesn't really teach you anything.
That, like, I definitely agree that I'm still finding my footing on YouTube. And when you say like to not give up, do you mean as a general thing, or the more obvious thing I think is I had a lot more success doing Minecraft videos and not nearly as much success doing the in real life videos.
I mean, it depends what makes you happy. Like, are you happier doing the Minecraft content or are you happier doing the content you're doing now?
I personally feel like happiness is it's a difficult thing to measure, but I am definitely feeling like I'm presenting a more genuine version of myself with in-person content, because I don't know if it's literally just like playing with my hands and like, like really conveying the emotion, but I felt as though, like I'm sure you're alluding to the fact that when I started doing Minecraft videos, it was unique because no one was doing like self-improvement motivation behind
Yeah, no one was
Minecraft.
doing that kind of Minecraft content.
Yeah, and like that worked a couple of times. I had two videos pop off extremely well, but most of them don't actually like get more than 30,000 views, which to a aspiring creator might sound like a lot, but in terms of ad revenue, like if I do one video and it makes me like 20 or $30 because Minecraft doesn't pay that much as a gaming niche, then I can't live on that. And
Yeah,
I
it's a common misconception that a lot of big creators are like millionaires. It's not
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Like, if you want to know honest numbers, like I get paid enough to live. I don't get like excess.
At my peak, I think when I had the How to Enjoy Minecraft Again, that first video pop off, my
Yeah.
best month was like $1,700, and now I make like $400, which like does no matter how you slice it, you're not living anywhere on $400 in anywhere in the world. Maybe Thailand, but you know, it's not realistic to do what I was doing at the time as a full-time job. It's just not. It's not possible. At least not without sponsorships or some sort of supplemental income. And that
But
might
I think but you'll get there. I spent years with like 50,000 subscribers, getting 10K views per video, 15K views per video. I lost hope loads of times. But the trick here is to not quit. It's just to keep going, because it takes time, man. It takes a lot of time. I know some people have like crazy amounts of success very, very, very soon, right? They just post the first couple of videos and they just blow up for no reason. And it's kind of difficult to, you it's very easy to compare yourself, but
Yeah.
don't
Well,
compare yourself to
I
others.
mean, when you were at that point of only getting 10,000 views and upload, surely you were not living on YouTube income, right? You had something else, like a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I had a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I had a 9 to 5, and so I got a house. I was working in government. And I'm actually very grateful to have that 9 to 5 job, because if it wasn't for that 9 to 5 job, I wouldn't have had a mortgage for my house, because there
Uh-huh.
was no way I was going to get a mortgage from the bank with my YouTube revenue,
No,
which was
yeah.
all over the place,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I was grateful I got the mortgage, and I was living in an empty house with nothing but a bed and a computer. I was going to work, finishing at 5, then working on videos, editing till 4 in the morning, sleeping 3, 4 hours, and going back to work. And I did that for almost a year.
And
So again, it
I
was
I
difficult.
imagine that like really took a toll on your body, right?
that that was mentally exhausting. It was crazy. Like, if you want me to get super personal, there was times at work where I'm going to the bathroom and I'd freaking cry in the bathroom. That's how exhausted I was mentally.
Mm-hmm.
But again, all that was a contribution to the fact that I was lack of sleep, how much I was pushing, all my doubts, and where I was going with my life and all that stuff. It was all kind of. I was also going through a breakup, by the way, so it wasn't
Yeah.
really helping either. We all have that first toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was that year worth it?
was it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, because at the end of all that hard work, I had one viral video, and by viral I mean like I got like 1 million views, which I never had ever got that before. That for me was crazy. Then some of my other videos were getting like 500,000 views, 600,000 views, and I was like, I can do this. And I started pushing, and then I took the biggest risk ever, because I had one good paycheck on YouTube that was like $2,000, and I was basically like, fuck it, I'm gonna quit my job.
Right.
Well, what I tried first was I tried to get a sabbatical, which is a 1 year off work,
Right.
so I
Right.
can focus on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they just instantly declined, like, no. And I was so annoyed that I just said, okay, well then I quit. And despite everyone telling me not to, everyone going against me, I said, no, I can do this. I'm gonna push myself on YouTube, and I'm gonna make it. And I did. And it was the best decision I ever made. Even though, again, I don't know where this is going now, I can still be very grateful for the fact that I've spent the past, I don't know how many years now, just being able to pursue my passion and work from home. I can sit here, I can make videos, I can listen to music. I don't have someone looking over my shoulder telling me do this, do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was I think it's the ultimate success, in a sense, to find that freedom of escaping the 9 to 5. I think right now a lot of people, I think, are looking for that, and a lot of people are trying to find that through YouTube. But there's also many other ways you can do this. I mean, we're living in 2024 now. Like, there's plenty of opportunities
Mm-hmm.
um, to branch out, or do start a business. It's just not easy. Again, people want like the easy route, but it's definitely not easy. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah, well, here's my take. So part of why I changed my content and I got away from Minecraft was because I felt like it wasn't like challenging me enough. Like I was getting too comfortable. And
Okay.
I kind of share your entrepreneurial spirit. Like I want to have something that I can put 10 hours, 12 hours a day into. I just hadn't found it yet. And I thought that when I switched to in-person content that somehow would fill the void. But honestly, it kind of did the reverse because they're a lot easier to make. They're only like 5 to 6 minutes or so, and there's no B-roll for me to gather. And so
Yeah.
I made like, at this point like 20 or 30 of those in-person videos, and those have been nice, but it's still like, but I'm still not like building a business. I'm still like kind of on this hedonic treadmill of content where I have to get like, what's the next video? And then what should I do next, right?
You're in a difficult spot, because I mean, what you're doing really right now is kind of like motivational stuff.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know how motivational chat. I mean, I don't subscribe to that kind of. Um, I mean, not. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Just the
other
niche. Yeah. The genre.
content creators, because you know the ones that wake up at 5 in the morning and they're doing their whole morning ritual.
Yeah. No, I think that's
I
stupid.
don't subscribe to that. I think it's comes off as very narcissistic,
Yeah.
sort of. I mean, they're not really showing you how to get to that level. They're just showing you what they do,
Right.
and no one starts at that level. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like you have to work up to it.
Yeah. I never will be like that. You know, I think there's definitely a level of like putting lipstick on a pig. You know that phrase where, you know, lots of content creators will make their videos look really pretty and cinematic
Yeah.
and say that this is how you do a morning routine or this is how you transform your life. But it's not actually that valuable. And I found that the most valuable content for me are those 2 hour unedited guides that people make of like, this is not here to hold your attention. This is not here to make you like super, you know, your dopamine go crazy. This is pure value. There's nothing special about this. And just sit down and watch. And I love that kind of content. But again, it's still like, I feel like as a creator, and as you mentioned, like you're, you know, at a level where like you're able to live, like I want to get to a level where I can not only just live off of an online business, but prosper and like build wealth
Yeah.
and like actually have, you know, support people in my lives. And it's just not possible, I think, just from AdSense.
I mean,
And
we've all had that dream. I had the dream of buying my dad a new car. I mean, he's had the
yeah,
same car for like 20 years
yeah.
and I haven't been able to. I mean, it's just reality, man.
But do you think that's reality because most YouTubers don't go outside of that box of AdSense and sponsorships?
I don't know. I mean, I could make more money if I took sponsorships, but I also don't want to hinder my channel. I don't want to bore people with a 45-second sponsorship about something that doesn't really concern them, you know?
Right.
Like people are getting enough ads on YouTube as it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting like a non-skippable video ad, then another ad, then another ad in between, and an ad at the end. And
Yeah.
then on top of all that, I'm gonna do a sponsorship of 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Like we might as well just sit here and watch ads all day. Like
Right.
it's just not. I don't want to put my subscribers through that kind of content.
Yeah, I understand. I've only ever done one brand deal and it was nice, but it wasn't like um I didn't feel like this was really representing me. And well, I guess what I'm getting to is that I've started to look at like what other people are doing that have made like truly massive money. They've built huge businesses on YouTube, and it's not usually AdSense or sponsorships. It's like they build some sort of community, like a paid private community, or they build some sort of course. And I know it has like a really gross connotation to it,
Yeah, that's
courses.
the thing. Especially when it comes to motivational content, when they're trying to sell you
Yeah,
a course on how to be successful when
right,
they themselves have got successful from the course itself. So
right, right,
I mean that's the reality of it.
right.
I don't again, I would never I wouldn't recommend anyone buying any of these things.
You don't think you would ever start like a Jeracraft community?
I mean, I have my Patreon, and I have my store. So it's also I have that extra bit of income
Oh,
from
you
the
do?
store.
Okay,
I
that's good.
didn't uh I didn't mention what I was making on YouTube, but if you want to get a rough idea, like this month has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Right now I'm on $365. Obviously the month isn't complete, so it's not
Oh,
final.
right, right.
But
So that's like a
so
what,
in
like $1,000 maybe for the whole month?
so in December 1,600, November 1,400. My best month here was September 2,200. And that for me is just enough to pay the bills, buy food, and just get on with my life kind of thing, which is not really where I want to be, which is
Yeah,
why I'm pushing myself now. Because if we go way, way back, I'm gonna give you, since you shared the best month you ever had,
yeah. That was the best ever, and it's never been the same since.
the best month I have ever had was 12,000 in a month.
Yeah, and that's really,
And
really good. It's not consistent, right?
that blew my mind. But again, that was just 1 month where I had the most viral video on my channel, which now has, how much many views does that have? I don't know, like 14 million, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But that was just a lucky.
But see, man, that's the thing is that they'll look at your channel of like 1.7 million, like, oh, this guy must have like a Lamborghini, but that's just not how it works.
No, that is definitely not how it works. I mean, for crying out loud, I still have the stock bathroom in my house, and I've had the same bathroom for like 10 years. I have a bathtub, a toilet, and a sink. I don't even have tiles on the freaking walls. So for people to sit there and say I'm rich is crazy. It's crazy.
Right. But the thing though is that I have definitely started seeing more creators popping up where they only have like, let's say 10,000 subscribers, but they built some sort of digital product or community. And they're like, yeah, I make like 20 grand a month doing this. And it's like, well, how? I mean, we're over here. I mean, you're obviously much bigger than my channel, but like well established channels. And you see the little check mark, you obviously think that they're making tons of money. And, we're over here making like $1,000 to scrape by. Like, surely there's more that we could be doing to get closer to truly prospering, right?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. A business is the best way forward. So I have a store. Obviously, I've told you my YouTube revenue,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 1,000, basically 1,500, 1,600 in the last recent months. But thankfully, I also have the store, which hasn't been doing as well, but it's still, extra revenue. So I get maybe like $400 from Patreon. I get another, $100 to $200 a week from my Minecraft store. So all that adds up in the end
Mm-hmm.
as extra money. I obviously sell like a huge packet of all my Minecraft worlds, everything I've ever built since like 2012 for $50. When people buy that, it does me a huge favor. It helps me keep going. I don't sell them that often. I might sell like, I don't know, 8 or 9 a month. So it's not really that much, but again, I'm trying my best here.
Right. Well, you mentioned earlier that like, most people only operate at like, 20% of their capacity. And,
Yeah.
and you mentioned all these like business things. Do you feel as though there's like a lot more that you could do to build like, I don't know, consistently 10 grand a month or something on YouTube?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if I gave it my all and I find new ways of making revenue, like I could sell, for example, 3D rendered posters of my Minecraft world signed by me. I could make money
Mm-hmm.
on that, for example. But I think my location is a bit fucked
What?
because I live in Gibraltar and we don't have anything here. Like it's not like America where you could drive to buy, I don't know, Halloween stuff for your house or Christmas lights. And like we don't have those kind of stores here. We don't have anything. We have the basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I wanted to buy, I don't know, give me an example. I don't know,
Are you saying like business expenses, like buying materials for stuff?
like getting stuff. Like in other words, it would be much easier for me to set up a business in America where I
Right.
can have people get the materials to do the printing and
Mm.
the space and all that stuff. We don't have space here. This space is cramped as hell.
Mm.
We're basically reclaiming land by throwing sand into the ocean and expanding the landmass, basically,
Right.
which Spain isn't too happy about. But
Right.
um,
And you don't feel like you would ever want to leave for America. You want to stay where you are?
uh, the thing is, I've always wanted to move to America since I was a kid. Like I've always been fascinated with America, like almost borderline obsessive. The whole culture, everything about it, I've always loved.
Mm.
But in recent years, I feel like things have gone a bit chaotic,
Yeah.
and I'm a little scared to go over at this point. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you
I
mean.
don't I don't know if it's so much the news that they just highlight the worst of America, or if it's really like that. I don't think it's that bad. I think the news is just
No, I
making it
mean,
seem worse than it is. But
yeah. It
I don't
it
know. What's your take on it?
I mean,
You live there.
yeah, like I don't really listen to the news anymore. I find it extremely exhausting.
It is.
And so when you go day to day, like when I go to the gym and I just do my content and I just watch YouTube, it's easy to feel like, no, life is totally normal here. But, I acknowledge that I kind of live in a bubble. Like I live in a nice, part of the city and like I don't feel as though I'm in like the ultimate hell that a lot of other people are.
Okay,
Like there
yeah.
are lots of cities on the west coast of America that have done very poorly for themselves, like San Francisco and LA, in terms of like homelessness and crime. And I don't live over there, so it's like easy to not feel like that's a part of my life, but it is a part of a lot of people's lives. And I guess it just depends on where you end up going, because you can live a very nice life anywhere in America. It's a massive country. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't want to get like
I wouldn't believe the
too
news.
political. I don't want to get too political, but it is incredibly sad to see the news. It's just
Hmm.
I'm a very emotional guy, despite I'm trying my best here. Like I am very emotional, and when I see, all the rampant, homelessness,
Yeah,
the crimes, it's just it
it
it,
is.
it
It's
crushes
sad.
my soul, man. It crushes my soul. I mean, I definitely want to visit. I definitely want to see New York. I definitely want to travel a bit more. I don't know. The thing is, I one of my biggest fears is actually flying. I have an absolute phobia of flying.
Yeah, I get it.
So I mean, I still travel, but every time I get a plane, it's like I have to take these pills. I have to like, I'm shaking, I'm scared. And I know it's the safest way to travel. So
Mm,
it's all in my mind at the end of the day. So that's why I still go, because I'm not going to restrict myself from traveling just because I have this massive phobia.
right.
Um, so I just go through the pain and suffering, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
The phobia bit.
I would caution from romanticizing America. I don't think you are though, but a lot of people do. Like my sister is like, I gotta live in New York. It's the greatest city in the world. But like, there's a lot of bad stuff in New York. Like
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that.
it's extremely expensive, and I would just like keep your expectations in check, because I think a lot of Americans do the same thing to Europe, and they're like, oh, it's such a tranquil, quaint place to live, and I would love to live in like the French countryside. But it's like, yeah, but
It
there's going to be
depends where you
problems over
go.
there. Like there's going to be massive taxes maybe, and cultures are different. Like it's not like rose tinted glasses is a poor way to look at the world. But yeah, I mean, I love America. It's always been my home, and I do recommend people come here and visit if they like it. And it's absolutely a great place to build a business. That's there's no question about that.
I mean, there's definitely more places to see in driving distance.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
huge. Yeah.
I mean, I have Spain next door, so I get to see, a lot of the Spanish culture, the food. There's a lot of really nice hikes that you can go on. Um, so I have that positive side, I guess. And I also speak Spanish fluently because I live next to Spain. So I that's something we all learn from a young age living in Gibraltar.
Right.
Even though Gibraltar is like primarily English, because we have Spain next door and Spain is so much bigger than Gibraltar, we're kind of forced to learn Spanish because there's so much, traffic coming in from Spain.
Hmm.
We have a lot of Spaniards working here as well. That makes up like probably like, I don't know, 20-30% of the working force here. Like it's ridiculous.
Right.
Um, a lot of us Gibraltarians don't want to do the hard the hard jobs basically, while the Spanish, unfortunately, they don't
Oh,
have
really?
it as good on the frontier. They don't have it as good as us, unfortunately.
Interesting.
So a lot of them find work here, which is much more beneficial for them.
I guess like just to wrap up that part of the conversation, like you feel content with where you live and you're happy with where you are.
Yeah, definitely. I feel very happy. If anything, if there was a place that I might consider moving to, would be Japan.
Really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
mostly for my girlfriend.
Oh, is she
She's
from there?
obsessed with Japan. No, she's obsessed with Japan.
Oh, okay. I see.
She's learning Japanese. She's watched like every single anime. She loves the culture. She wants to visit. She wants to get married there. There's a long list. There's a long
Interesting.
list.
Wow.
So, but I've kind of dove into it a bit from like PewDiePie's vlogs and all
Right.
that stuff.
I was about to mention him.
And
Yeah.
it's a very different place. The culture is very different. I think much more respectful, much more peaceful in a sense. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know what the dark side of Japan is, but from what I've seen, it's a pretty nice place.
I know it's a great place to go if you're introverted. Ironically,
Yeah,
because
maybe that's the
it's so populous. But I know a lot of people are like, you don't really speak to each other in public. Like it's you do your own thing, kind of a thing.
yeah, maybe that's why I want to go.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool, man. Would you do that soon, or are you just kind of like toying with the idea?
Nah, it definitely won't be soon. Like I think money wise, definitely not in a good place. Like inflation is like super high, everything is super expensive.
Yeah.
The mortgage rates have gone up like crazy high. The cost of living in Gibraltar, that's probably one bad thing. It's gone higher, much higher than it used to be.
Mm.
But I think it's all over the world, really. So, what made you want to start YouTube? Like, what was the main, like, when did you sit there and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this?
Well, I had always wanted to do it, honestly, since I was like 10. I think every kid, in a way, has always wanted that. But
And how old are you now?
I'm 22 now. So
Okay,
it's
so
been a
12
while.
years.
But I hadn't actually like started pursuing it until I would say the summer of 2022, so a year and a half ago. And
So what took you so long?
well, I mean, I guess I went through my teenage years, not really expecting that I would ever like come back to it. YouTube, I felt like it was kind of unrealistic. I think everyone has a bit of reality hitting them that they have to find a real job. But
Yeah,
I just,
doubts.
I just felt like there was nothing even remotely interesting to me coming out of high school. And then I went to university and college, and I studied game design, which was interesting enough, I guess. But I didn't want to like go and work for Blizzard. I didn't want to do a 9 to 5. Essentially, I just did not want to do that, and I still don't want to do that. But yeah, I felt like, as you said earlier, YouTube just feels like the most tangible way out of the system. I think for me and a lot of other
Yeah,
people, and I always felt like I just had this like not materialistic ambition, but like I just did not want to be tied down by a job. Like I wanted to just have no cap on my income essentially. And YouTube and the internet just felt like the only way to do that. And honestly, man, I did not expect the Minecraft videos to do as well as they did. I guess it was unique, the cinematic stuff, but like I took that idea from Loris Bones. He's another really good Minecraft creator. So yeah, I just started doing Minecraft videos, and I just kind of just blossomed over time, I guess. No other way to put it.
I feel like you. This is where the doubt comes in, where I feel like you're doubting yourself because I feel like you're talking about the Minecraft content because it was more successful. Is that what it is?
Like like I'm looking back fondly on the Minecraft stuff.
Yeah. Do you think the audience likes more the Minecraft content than they do the current content?
Oh yeah, no, there's absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, every single day I'm still getting comments of like, you need to go back to Minecraft. Like the views were better. Um, but I mean, I don't really respond to them, and I'm wondering if I should make a video just addressing that at some point. But I just feel like it was never about the views or the subscribers. It's always been about delivering value and making money at the same time. And I don't know, I kind of felt like a little bit cringy almost after a while doing the Minecraft videos. Like I'll load up one
Yeah.
of the ones I made 6 months ago, and it's just like, oh, it's so like mushy and like not me at all. And I scripted those videos out, so that could have been part of it. But I don't know. I kind of intend to ride this new wave of authenticity, and I feel like it's the perfect timing for me because I have this year under my belt of the channel. It's been almost a year for me, and I've changed a whole hell of a lot. But ultimately, I just felt like I was limiting myself with Minecraft, and even though the success was greater, and like I might look back on the Minecraft content like, yeah, I technically was more monetarily successful. It just wasn't me, you know. And I had a podcast call with this guy Jin Kwan, and he's like an ex-doctor where he left a $180,000 a year job to pursue content creation. And he was like, "We're still young enough that money doesn't really matter. It's not that important to make millions now. It's just like figure out what you want to do in your 20s." And that's what I've been doing. I've been spending the last year just changing and experimenting because I think that's what your 20s are for. And even if it's less profitable now and not as successful now, I'm at least like trying new things and figuring out what I want to do.
You are at the stage I was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm 31 now. I mean, I'm getting old now. I
right.
wouldn't say I'm getting old, but like I was obviously like so many years ahead that I don't even know what I'm gonna do with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's a good time to just experiment and find what you want to do, which is exactly what I was doing back then when I jumped from the eBay business straight to YouTube, and I was experimenting. I was doing vlogs. I was doing all kinds of random stuff. I was playing other games. I've deleted a lot of the vlogs now because I realized that it showed my house and where I lived, and I didn't. As soon as I started growing, I was like, maybe I should get this
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I don't want people showing up at my house.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's a good time to experiment.
Yeah. Well, I do want to just pick your brain though, since you mentioned like the self doubt. Like, what do you, as an outsider looking in, what do you think um, is like the best approach for me going forward?
This is a bit random, but like I would put playlists for one
My
on your
my mom
homepage.
has recommended that a lot.
Like right now it's just like one row of videos, and I really feel like they should be put into playlists, at least like, you know, 2 or 3 playlists at least, to separate some of the content,
Mm,
to kind of make it, maybe try and find like certain categories of content that you can break
mm,
down into, sort of thing, right? So if you're going to do like motivational uh, videos, maybe make a video for that. If you're going to talk us about something about business related, maybe do like a playlist for business related stuff. You know,
mm,
I don't know, it's just try and find a bit of structure, maybe.
right. Yeah, that's the thing is that like I'm still at the point of like what is my structure? You know, like what is my niche? Because I very much pay attention to what other successful creators have done. And I cannot disregard the fact that there are lots of finance or entrepreneurial creators that just
Yeah,
inherently make a lot of money because that's the kind of content they make
they have
about.
the highest CPM though.
Right. And so it's like I've been trying to gently steer my content not towards straight up finance, but like I personally always deep down have this ambition like you do to like build a business, and I just want to like be around people that share that ambition. And it's really difficult honestly to pivot away from what I've built because not everyone, but a lot of people are like, but I just want Minecraft, you know? And I
How
want
do you think I feel? I mean, imagine me right now saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to start doing motivational videos.
yeah,
That would, I guarantee you that that would kill my channel in 3 months.
yeah,
For sure. 3 months flat, my channel will be dead in views. I'll be back to square one. And that it kind of depends on you, on whether you are willing to take that risk. I mean, you're in a much better position to take that risk than me. If I do
right.
that, I could be jeopardizing my career. But you've just started out and you have, you know, plenty of time to decide what it is exactly you want to follow.
Mm-hmm. But
But it
you,
kind of depends. I mean, look at PewDiePie, man. He's done all kinds of videos and people are still watching his stuff.
right, right.
So it, it's I'm kind of in a box right now because if I were to change my content, I'm screwed. I try to slowly integrate new videos every now and again, like the hightail little uh,
Yeah, 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 right,
dramatized video I made,
right.
and that didn't do that well. I mean, it has 100,000 now, but it didn't do as well as my other videos.
Mm,
And I think another thing I've noticed about YouTube right now is the algorithm has changed in ways that I do not yet understand. Because I was very attuned to the algorithm, I think 2 years ago, and I've noticed a massive shift that I can't quite put my finger on what exactly is going on. So I was very good at predicting how good a video was going to do. So, for example, my most viral video, I knew for a fact that that was going to get millions of views, and it did. And that was the same for almost every single video I posted. When I wanted to take a step back, I would say, okay, I'm going to post this video now. It's not going to do as good, but it's a filler video kind of thing,
mm.
and it would do just that. It would get less views. But in recent years, I've noticed the complete opposite. I post a video and I go, okay, this video is going to do really well. And it does the complete opposite. Then I go to a video and I go, okay, this video, I haven't put any effort into it, but it's a filler, you know what, whatever. And it gets more views than I could have ever imagined. And I'm like, wait, what the heck is going on? I'm
Right.
completely out of touch, completely.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an example, the video where I don't know if you can see my channel, but subscribers destroyed Minecraft server. So I transformed it,
Mm.
right?
Right.
I thought that video was going to do really bad. I thought at the most 100,000 views. While the video before that, I thought would get 1 million, but it's the complete opposite. It's the other way around. The world's largest tower video that I spent 3 months building has 400,000 views,
Mm.
while the video that took me a week to do has almost 1 million views. So I'm like, okay, is it worth putting in 3 months now
Right, right.
on a project, or am I gonna just focus on easier videos that are gonna get just even more views? So I'm kind of lost, just like you. I'm kind of lost right now, and I don't know like what direction I'm gonna take, because there's been a transition for sure.
But I mean, your content still all is under the umbrella of Minecraft, right?
Yeah,
And
it
like
is.
it's not like I do think that there's many different subsects of Minecraft. Like there's hardcore Minecraft, there's building Minecraft, there's redstone Minecraft. But if you're still under the umbrella of one thing, then I think your audience more or less will still like it. And it's just funny to me because I mean I obviously did not plan for any of my videos to go the way they did. Like the how to enjoy Minecraft again. I was still such a new YouTuber that I did not expect that to pop off like it did.
So
But
how many views is your highest video?
that one
Just
has
out of
like that one
curiosity.
has like 2 million, I think.
That's
And
crazy. Yeah, that's really good.
yeah, and it was like my fourth video. So like I just simply was not expecting that to happen. But now when I post a in real life video, it's so different that I'll be lucky to crack 5,000 views on that video, you know?
This is one of the issues I have with YouTube right now, that it's like I feel like YouTube wants to give everyone an opportunity, right? To find success. So they're going to the smallest creators, the channels that have just started out, and potentially giving them like one viral video and then destroying their hopes with
Right.
like what's going on. Like it's almost like the algorithm is just selecting random videos and just popping them out. I mean,
Mm,
I really don't know what's going on. It feels very different from the YouTube that I grew up with.
right.
I don't know if that's a contributing factor to, the fact that, YouTubers are quitting right now. I don't know if that's been
Yeah, right.
I haven't really looked in. I know a bunch of people have quit. I don't know exactly the full story of why they've quit, but I'm trying to figure out, is like YouTube going down the right path, or are we seeing something completely different?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
like I don't want to like blame the algorithm. Like I got 2 million on one video, 5,000 on another. That's not because like I'm just getting unlucky. It's like those are such different videos. One's about Minecraft, one's about me in front of my table talking about some motivational topic, you know?
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
I wouldn't expect to get the same level of success, but I do agree that it is kind of damaging when you get a sudden burst like that you were not anticipating. And I talked to Austin McConnell about this. He's another pretty big YouTuber, and he said that he used to do shout outs for small channels, and he actually regrets a lot of them because he would give a huge influx of attention to someone that didn't really want that, or like they just treated their YouTube as a hobby. And so
yeah.
when that all came in and they suddenly had all this pressure, it kind of like destroyed their motivation. And he's like, yeah, you cannot, like Marcus Brownlee has said this, you cannot expect to get success overnight because you're not ready for it yet. You need to have
It's a
you need to be
huge
like
process.
put your toes in the pool. Don't jump straight in.
I would definitely agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
For sure. But again, I haven't experienced that personally. um like I have gradually grown my channel through so many years, and it's like I said, I'm kind of grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone has ever like said go watch Jeracraft or anything like that. So in a way, I'm kind of grateful. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready for it now. I mean, it depends the person, right? Like I would think now, if Mr. Beast were to come out and say, go subscribe to Jeracraft, do that, or I did some sort of collaboration with him, I think I would crumble under
Yeah.
pressure,
Yeah.
because it would be just so many people and so many different kinds of comments and so many different kind of perspectives. And I don't know, I think it would be just too much. It
Yeah.
would
It
be
is too
too much.
much.
Whereas Mr. Beast has gradually gone to that level of success over the years. I mean, I
Mm.
remember watching him like reading a freaking Bible or counting what was it? I think it was reading a dictionary. Sorry, not
Yeah.
a Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
He read an entire dictionary. It's all a long process of just learning and gradually growing and getting that experience that you need,
Mm.
rather than just instant success that everyone's looking for, especially with the AI content now. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of AI content that's out there right now.
In terms of overnight
In,
success.
in, ter- in terms of people trying to find overnight success,
Yeah.
the
Right.
easiest possible route. I mean, people are taking the path of least resistance
Hmm.
to try and get the quickest success possible. And the problem with that is that, yeah, there might be a lot of money to be made, but you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not getting experience. You're just trying to find the best and quickest way to success.
Hmm. If I want to be a basketball player, why would I compare myself to LeBron now? Like, compare yourself to LeBron when he was 16 and just starting out.
Exactly. The amount of effort that that man must have put to get to that level. You know what I mean? The amount of
Yeah.
training, the amount of dedication. I mean, it's not that easy.
But
So I said to my,
that's the
go
problem though with
content.
YouTube though, is that we are viewing the end product and we're viewing
Yeah.
the most recent work of a YouTuber. And like, even with you, like, if some very, very small Minecraft YouTuber wanted to become like the next builder and they watch your video on like the world's biggest mega tower, like, they're like, oh my God, how could I possibly build that? But it's like, no, click on Jeracraft, go to oldest and look at where he started, because that's where you are.
Yeah, look at my tutorial videos, look at that dirt house I built and go, okay, maybe I should start building this.
Right. Yeah. Start from
Because
humble
there
beginnings.
was no freaking way I would have ever managed to build that tower when I started.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much I've learned to get to that level?
Yeah.
Like just the commands on world edit,
Right.
the tricks, the ways of being able to speed up the process. All these things take a tremendous amount of time to
Mm-hmm.
learn. So you can't just expect, yeah, I'm gonna build this world's tallest tower. I mean, you might be able to do it. It might take you way longer though. You know what I mean?
Right. But see, that's like one of my like deep unconscious desires and cravings though, is that I feel like the content that I've pursued has not challenged me enough. And like you say, you've learned so much from like the world edit and the tiny minutia, but it's like I have gotten better, I guess, at writing scripts and talking in front of a camera. But it's like I want to actually do some sort of content where I'm being forced to learn like a business model, like launching an online store or something that is like, I guess, more technical maybe, because
So why don't you interview like people who started businesses? Maybe go out, get some B-roll of some sort of business, and maybe try and get in contact with some sort of manager or something. I don't
well,
know, like
well,
someone more business minded.
it's funny you mentioned that, because right now I'm actually going through a course. It's called IPGA from a creator, Sander Stage, and it's like
Yeah.
this new. It's kind of like SMMA. You may have heard of that, and uh,
SMMA.
yeah, that's the old kind of 2020 style of doing, like, it's called social media marketing agency.
Oh,
and
okay.
and now the new thing, or like, a very, very sudden thing as of like maybe the past month or two, is IPGA, which is Info Product Growth Agency. And all it really means, it sounds really fancy, all it really means is partnering with professionals that have expertise that do not know how to export that expertise in terms of like an online course or education, and then you help them grow and scale that. So, like,
Okay.
I might contact a lawyer and say, "You're an expert in law for the past 30 years. Let me help you build a course and package up all of your expertise, and then we scale it and market it on social media, and then I would take a share of the profits and you would take a share of the profits." And so I'm teaching myself through this course, and I've been seeing tons of people in this community talking like, "Yeah, I just signed my first client. We're getting about $6,000 a month from this one client. Oh,
Oh my God.
I've got three clients over here." And it's like, I just want to do something like this where I'm being forced to like build a website and like help a client scale something, and like, because I feel very much of that like 22-year-old imposter syndrome where I have not yet done basically anything with my life. I've just been sitting in front of a camera talking, and I need to actually like go out into the world and do something, and then kind of like report back my findings.
I would say that you're on the right track, but I would not get so caught up on like your age. I mean, look, if I'm perfectly honest, at 21 years old, I was on a beach in Miami. Like I was just partying. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the best for everyone, but I was still young. I knew I had time. Um, I think there's a lot of pressure as well from, like you said, the influencers and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bit, I think we're putting too much pressure on people in general.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're running out of time. What are you doing? Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Stop partying. Stop going out. Focus on your job. Wake up at 5 in the morning. And I think it's just a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, take your time with it. You know what I mean? Go step by step.
Yeah. I think there are systems in place in my life that keep me in check. Like, I live with my girlfriend, obviously, and I'm not
Yeah.
able to stay up until 4 a.m. working on videos because like we have to go to bed together and we have to get up early. And so in that regard, I stay on task, but I do know what you're saying. And I think it's really almost I almost feel bad for the guys that have made millions by 21 or like I see like 16-year-old drop shipper makes $500,000 and
Yeah.
I'm like, but you're so young, man. Like, what are you gonna do
I
for the rest of your life now that you've got all this done? Like, don't you want your entire life to be the process?
exactly. I don't know what I would have done with like a million at 16. I
Yeah,
mean, I
blow,
think it would be a bit, I
spend
think it
it
would
all
ruin your
probably.
life in a way.
Yeah.
I think it's too much. You don't have, you know, skills in money management. You know, your brain's not fully developed yet. You're
Mm.
gonna do stupid things for sure.
Well, I guess as you being roughly 10 years older than I am, and besides like, slow down and don't put so much pressure on yourself, is there anything that you've learned that you would have wanted to tell like the 22-year-old version of yourself?
I would have definitely told myself to not quit when it gets easy, for sure. That's like the number one thing I would have engraved into my brain. Do not quit when it gets easy. Just don't, because when it gets easy, that's when you have the biggest opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to find that success. If you, if I would have not set that goal of 1 million subscribers and said, okay, you know, I'm here now and I'm just going to relax, who knows where I would have been now if I would have kept giving it my all.
Right.
So I would definitely not quit, or sorry, take a step back when you find that success. And you know, there's a lot of examples of this. I think Casey Neistat spoke about this in a video a couple of years ago when he took a step back and he showed his statistics on YouTube. You can see everything going down, and I think it's potentially even career ending, taking a step back.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
lucky for me, I haven't like found any like super concrete success yet.
yeah, I guess you're not quite there yet, but I'm giving you like
Right, when it
a heads
happens.
up, so when it happens,
Right.
when the going starts going, don't stop. Don't
Right.
stop.
Yeah,
Don't
because
get comfortable.
because I made a video about momentum recently, and especially with YouTube, the moment that you take your foot off the gas is when you lose that momentum.
Exactly. I lost a lot of momentum when I stopped for a year, but it was unfortunately out of my control because of the PC, the
Right,
hacking,
right, right.
the
Yeah.
floods in the house. It was unfortunately completely out of my control.
Hmm. And you feel like going into 2024, you have some good momentum.
I have definitely got a lot of momentum. Like I do not want to stop. I just want to keep giving it as much as I can and basically push myself to the absolute limit no matter what.
Hmm.
Like I have been not just with the YouTube, but with training, with education, reading, um, whatever it is I can do, I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
I'm gonna fit it into my schedule. Which I think I heard you make a short about something about that would benefit you to make a schedule. Do you not have a schedule in some sense?
Yeah, yeah, like a little bit of discipline, I guess. Like, um, not a daily routine because that's kind of a overused term,
Well,
but
I'm uh I'm gonna say like the daily routine for me has definitely helped me. I've always been against daily routines, and I've always been like another like aspect of the 4 years that I spent sitting around playing video games and making YouTube content
mm,
was the fact that I had absolutely no routine, and I would wake up at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd go to bed at 7 in the morning. The next day I'd go to bed at 4 in the morning. It was all over the place.
right.
It was all over the place. And I didn't really like, I didn't really think of it as a bad thing at the time. But now that I've actually got a routine, I realize, you know, what the hell was I doing with my life? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Right.
So what I did was I slowly but surely added one thing extra to my daily routine, because it can be very, very difficult to get into that headspace where you have to wake up and do this thing every single day. So it's like I said, you know, clean your room, start with that, start with something simple,
Hmm.
and then go adding more and more things. For example, I would wake up, I'd sort out the studio. That would be my first thing. Then the next day, I might add something else. You know, I might answer my emails, add that to the to-do list instead of leaving it for like a week unanswered emails. I'll just answer them every day.
Right.
Um, The next thing I'd add to my to-do list, okay, check my Discord channel, make sure all the messages are up to date, make sure I haven't got messages from flowstate, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then another thing was, my accounts. Money is all over the place. I'm not keeping track of what I'm doing with my money. I'm buying stuff. I don't know, what's business related. What can I claim on my taxes? I'm not up to date with my taxes. That's a freaking mess. So I'm going to sort this out. Add that to my to-do list. Check my accounts every single day. Make sure everything's in order. The next thing I'd add to the to-do list, okay, work on my latest project, post on social media. Obviously, because it's my job, I need to make sure that I'm available in the social platforms, basically.
Right.
Whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, make sure that I am active in some sense. So add that to the to-do list. I've got myself a monthly planner, I've got myself a workout management thing, I got my account management, I've got my marketing calendar, I got my list of YouTube projects and plans that I'm trying to manage and sort out, which videos I'm going to work on next. All of these things I've mentioned right now, I did not have at all. I had nothing. I would just wake up, play video games. I might just, work on a YouTube video now. Okay, let's sort that out. And then go to bed and repeat.
Right.
That was my routine. And that's not really a routine, is it? So again, just take it step by step. Maybe if you're only just starting out, that's for the people who are watching right now, maybe start with just 5 push-ups a day or something really simple. You don't have to go, right, I'm going to go all out at the gym. I'm going to start. You're just going to get burnt out.
Yeah.
Start very small and slowly build on those routines. And before you know it, I think it took me about 3 months of struggling, not wanting to get out of bed, fighting my brain, telling me, you don't want to get up, you don't want to do this, just relax, you don't have to do this. And after that 3-month period, I think I started really getting into the rhythm of things. And I think my brain just said, you know what, this guy's not quitting. Let's just follow him, just do what he says.
Right.
And now a year in, it's like I cannot live without doing my routine, which is crazy. I don't know how I've got to this level. The fact that I have my elbow broken in 2 bits and I was doing a full body workout yesterday is insane. I mean, I would have used this as an excuse to not do anything back in the day. So I think it just takes a special kind of mindset and just a lot of building and, working at it.
Yeah, people have been asking me for longer videos with more actionable steps, and that's perfect right there. Like I definitely been thinking maybe I should write down a checklist of check my different email accounts and just log into my bank just to make sure all the numbers look fine.
Yeah, just trust me, just do it. Just I actually use my Stream Deck, believe it or not. I have
really?
these I have my to-do list on a Stream Deck and I just click the buttons once I've done my whatever it is I need to do, right? So my morning stretch, my update my workout calendar, go to the gym, whatever it is that I have on the list on that particular day. I just take it, press a button,
right,
kind of thing. And what I do is I have a end of year evaluation, and I make sure to write down, the performance of the channel, how many workouts I've done. I've got this calendar where I color in the boxes, just to keep me going. I know sounds really stupid, okay, but I have a workout calendar where it's just, a simple full year, 1 page, and all I have to do is whenever I do a certain workout, I go to that day and I color in the box. And just coloring in those boxes, as stupid as it sounds, really helps me continue coloring in those boxes. So if I cycle, I'll go to the calendar and I'll color it in green. If I go to the gym, I'll color in that box in yellow. And as the days goes on, I don't want to see any white boxes, because a white box is for me is a rest day.
right.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of it's really stupid. I guess it's the gamer mentality. You just want to make sure you got your statistics up to date, and you want to.
Yeah, your daily quests.
Daily quests, exactly. So that's what's helped me continue pushing myself, in a sense, and just having those goals of I cycled 2,000 kilometers last year, so this year I want to cycle, double that, or 500 kilometers more, whatever it is, and just constantly pushing myself. I mean, exercise, as much as people don't want to do it, it's it's life changing. Like, it's given
Oh
me
yeah.
life just being able to go
Yeah.
out and cycle around Gibraltar. I mean,
Yeah, it's huge.
it's changed my mentality completely. It's made me healthier. I feel much more. I mean, bro, I couldn't even go up a flight of stairs without being completely suffocated, which is so bad to think.
Yeah.
And now it's like I can go out, cycle 50 kilometers, cycle up the rock, park my bicycle, do the trail up med steps on this dirt road with rocks and stuff, and then slow jog back down, get my bicycle, do another 20K kilometers, do my shopping on my bicycle, and then cycle with all that weight back home. I mean, I would have been dead if I did
Yeah,
that 4 years ago,
that's a lot.
which
Yeah.
is which is why I'm saying you need to start very small. If someone who hasn't trained goes and tries to do what I did the other day, I mean, they're gonna freaking have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So when I started, I cycled down one road and I had to turn back. That's how bad it was. But I kept pushing. You keep pushing. You keep pushing. You keep pushing, and you're gonna see the improvement slowly building on that improvement,
Mm-hmm.
and then just never stop. Just don't stop.
And the same goes with YouTube, right?
And the same goes with YouTube.
Yeah, those are
But
really good lessons, man. I mean, I feel like it's always reassuring to talk with someone that has been on like the other side of the whole process, because I've mentioned this many times to people that want to become creators or even other creators. It's like it's really lonely at times, and you don't get to hear that much like different perspectives. And it's really encouraging to hear that just don't stop. Like it's literally as simple as that. And
it's as simple as
you
don't
know,
stop. Yeah. Just read this book from David Goggins. I don't know if you've heard him.
oh yeah, I love Goggins.
I've literally just a couple of pages left of the book Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah,
And honestly, it's changed my life. Like this stuff this man has gone through and the stuff that he's done makes me feel like
like a little bitch.
like a bitch. Yeah. It makes me feel like I have no excuses,
Right,
right?
right, yeah,
If this guy can, run 100 miles on broken legs, why am I complaining about doing a 10K, run? Like what do I have to complain about?
right.
So
Should I read it? I've been
that's the
thinking
way.
about getting it.
I think you should really read it. I mean, I've been addicted and I don't even read books. So if you know how to read and
Yeah.
you read books, I think you can get through it pretty quickly. And it's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It's addictive. This guy has been through so much with his family. His dad used to beat him.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets gruesome. It's really bad. But man, he just kept pushing. He kept pushing. Guy had a hole in his heart, had two heart surgeries.
Yeah.
Um, did 103 miles with no training, almost died. Like
Crazy.
it's crazy. Navy SEAL. I mean, best-selling book. It's inspirational, and that's the kind of people that I want to, get inspiration from.
Right.
Basically,
That was a pleasure. Like we've gotten into topics that I didn't even think that we would get into. I guess I didn't realize just like how hungry you are, and like the business side, and like the Goggins stuff surprised me. I'm like, damn, this guy's fired up. So
I am definitely fired up.
it was just a very productive conversation.
You have no idea how much I just want to grab that bicycle again and cycle the tallest mountain I can possibly find.
Yeah.
That's my mindset right now.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and I do also want to do some sort of marathon at some point in my life, or Ironman or something. But it
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
it would be a cool transition for me to make from the Minecraft stuff eventually.
Yeah.
If I'm saying if Minecraft were to fail and the game for some reason dies out,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be very focused on being some sort of athlete. Like I would love to do that.
That'd be badass. That'd be awesome.
I would love to do that.
Definitely don't rule it out, man. I mean, I looked at Minecraft myself, and there's only so many towers we can build before we got to go out and do some different stuff.
But that's the beautiful thing about life. There's a lot more things to do than you can imagine.
Yeah, you can't do them all.
You can't do them all. But you can take you can focus on one thing, get some experience, then move on to the next and see if you find success there and just keep going.
Hmm.
Just like you said in your short, just do something.
Yeah. Right.
Just do something.